Shawn. So I know you've got a cool package in the mail and it is time to learn to crochet. I figured a live tutorial might help. So I'm using this kind of medium weight yarn that's easy to use. Not the prettiest color, but you know, gold has its advantages. Let's pretend it's real spun gold. So crochet is just one slip knot after another. So you're going to take your yarn, just going to make a slip knot. Wrap around your finger, push the loop through and pull. One slip knot. So if you can't make a slip knot yet, you need to practice that 100 times and then get back to me. Pull it not too tight around your crochet hook, put it on, and then what I do is I push it over the thicker part so it loosens up just a little bit, pull it back, and I don't retighten it because you want a little movement so you can pull your next yarn through your loop. Then I'm going to take the tail, I'm going to put it in my palm, so I'm going to hold on to the tail. And I'm going to take the yarn part and put it over my first finger right here, so that, and I'm going to hold it with my next finger, so you need an anchor. So you're holding it, and just this position takes getting used to. I promise if you practice for like 20 minutes, a couple days, this will become really natural to you. So now I'm going to put my crochet hook under the yarn, making a loop on top, and I'm going to just pull it through my first loop, hence a slip knot. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. At this point, I've got my knot, my original slip knot in between my index finger and my thumb, and I'm pressing because I want a foundation to work off of, to pull off of. Again, I'm going to go under and pull it through. Again, under and pull it through. So I want to show you something here, a mistake that's probably going to happen. When you pull it through, you might not get through your whole loop, and if you can see this extra loop of yarn right here, that means I didn't get through my whole original loop. So you're going to just make sure that loop goes over the head of it so you get your whole piece of yarn. You want to keep your yarn as one unit. If you start splitting in between it, your project will get fuzzy looking and it'll look like you have threads hanging out because you split your yarn. So make sure you treat all the cords in your yarn as one whole yarn, one cord. So again, under, grab your yarn and just pull it through, and like just look to where it's coming through. So you get right through your yarn. See, I'm going right through the center of the loop and I'm not splitting anything. So this finger here, see how I have to extend it up and bend it down? That at first is going to feel like you're using muscles you never used before, but again, after a couple tries, this hooking action, so it pulls the yarn up where you can get to it, is going to come second nature. But when I first did that, I was like, wow, that's a weird movement of my middle finger. But it does it, and it's fine. If I leave it down here, it's harder to hook my yarn. So if I pull it up with that finger, you can even use two fingers if you want, your ring and your middle finger. I find that harder. So I just pull it up with my middle finger. It raises it up so you can put your crochet hook right underneath. And again, another fancy slip knot. I'm pulling it really carefully. See, it almost split on me. So under, pull it through, right through the center of your loop, and you have what we call a chain. And this is in fact called the chain stitch. So I'm going to do a few more, and then I'll teach you how to go back on your chain so you start getting some width. So pretty soon you'll just be chaining, and whoops, see, it split on me. I'm going to grab the whole yarn, pull it through the very center of the loop. I don't want to split anything. And chaining. If it starts to get a little tight, you want to pull your loop out a little bit more. And chaining. And one last chain. Okay? So now we have a nice chain. You can pull it with your hand and make sure they're all nice and even. Sometimes one comes out a little bigger than the other. If you just give it a little pull, it evens out the tension. So now I'm going to take what I've already chained in my hand, and I'm going to hold on to it. And it's going to be, this is my base. I'm going to put this finger right underneath, and I'm going to skip the first stitch and go under the second stitch. Okay, so I've chained this direction. Now I'm going to chain back again, but I'm going to hook it to this first chain. So I'm going to go skipping the first stitch, go under the whole second stitch. Again, don't split your yarn. Make sure you get under the whole piece of yarn. Under, here's that finger pulling up that loose yarn again. Under, grab the whole yarn, pull it through your first stitch, and pull it through the loop that's on the crochet hook. Whoops. And if it comes out, just stick it right back in, pull it a little looser. We're going to do it in the next stitch. So here I've gone through this one. Now we're going to go through the next stitch. I'm going to go under, and I'm going to grab my yarn and pull it through there, and I'm going to pull it through here. Okay? This is called a single crochet. I'm going to go through my next stitch, and I'm going to pull it through, and I'm going to pull it through. Do we want to split this video? Is it getting too long?
Finish this up and
Okay.
we'll
Split.
Mhm.
So we'll do chaining and single crochet in this video. So I'm simply hooking, I'm doing the same slip knot, I'm just adding a loop, I'm adding a stitch so it hooks it on. You can see how it gets thicker. So one more, I'm going to go under, so I attach it to my original chain, pull it through, and keep pulling it through.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Single chain and your second row of single chaining. That's the back, it's bumpy, the front is a little smoother. If you've ever done any knitting, you know there's a bumpy side and a smooth side. Okay, well, so